The worst sexy costume is sexy Toad for Mario Kart. Put your hands together for Tim Kainzbauer! Keep it going for Jeff. All right, everyone, what a shitty time to be alive. Everyone's hating each other just for what they believe in. But there's one thing that we can all get behind together. And that's how fucking awesome the Space Force sounds. Yeah. Everyone's so excited about the Space Force. All my veteran buddies want to hop branches and join the Space Force. And I feel like that enthusiasm's going to last right up until the day they get their standard issue gear and realize their uniforms consist of red shirts. But the Space Force sounds so awesome. Shooting photon torpedoes, meeting exotic alien women on shore leave, being sucked out of a damaged hull into the cold vacuum of space where no one can hear you scream. It's wonderful. Yeah, so, yeah, it's really a shitty time to be alive. We live in a time where Dumbledore can be the headmaster of the most prestigious wizarding school in the world, but he can't buy a fucking wedding cake. I realize I'm getting older because the other day I was excited to find out my credit score. Wasn't always as awesome as it is now. It's really good now, but I was thousands and thousands of dollars in credit card debt. And you know why that is? It's because credit card reward points are a trap. They want you to spend, and get these points. You can get anything with credit card reward points. I checked it out. You can get iPhones, air fryers, rectal thermometers. Yeah, you can even get airfare. I realized I had enough credit card reward points once I paid off my debt to fly round trip to Key West, but when I get there, I would starve. Yeah, so I finally have a good credit score, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let's change that. So I bought a new car, a 2019. My last car was a 99, and the problem with that was I didn't know what a push-button start was. He hands me a fob, and I go, where's my key? He goes, that's your key. That, my friend, is a fob. Where's my keys? It's a push-button start. Okay, you're going to have to start from the top. And I realized that the youngest generation is not going to understand a lot of the phrases that we use just day to day that don't really have too much of a meaning anymore, like slamming down the phone, rolling down the windows. And those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. So I feel like we need to fix that, and we start with Microsoft Office. We bring back Clippy, the office assistant. But he is no longer Clippy, the office assistant. He is Clippy, the Microsoft Office museum curator. He hobbles across the screen with a walker fashioned out of the mangled, twisted corpses of his dead relatives. And he points it up and he goes, you see up there, kids? That is the save icon. It looks like a floppy disk. Clippy, what's a floppy disk? Well, I'm glad you asked. A floppy disk is what your dad used 20 years ago to store one low-res image of tits on. Yeah, so my car, it has something on it. It's called blind spot detection. What that means is my car yells at me. When I'm driving and I'm about to sideswipe someone, I'll just go boop, 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 boop. But all I hear is, check your mirrors, dumbass. To which I think I did not realize I purchased Kit from Knight Rider. Or that Kit sounds a lot like my parents, disapproving at every turn. I realized that stoners have a superpower. I like to call it stoner sense. It's really strange. So I'll give you an example. I was hanging out in the middle of nowhere at a bush party, as they call it, with one of my friends, my patchouli smelling, ska jamming, incense burning, Bob Marley t-shirt wearing friend. And mid-sentence he cuts himself off. He goes, 15 meters that way. So we go on an adventure 15 meters that way, and out of the woodline comes stumbling what appears to be Mystery Inc. Minus Scooby, because he is the one who brought me there. And I realized that is the only group of people who has a superpower like that. Nerds don't have superpowers like that. I don't have nerd sense. I can't just in the middle of a sentence just go, 20 meters that way, someone's opening up a fresh pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And 10 meters that way, there's a campaign of D&D. Oh, 4th edition. So I'll leave you on this. I think that the New Testament of the Bible is just patch notes for the Old Testament. I think that God was just sitting up there and he goes, we got some bugs with this book, we need to fix it, bring the audience back in. And they said, okay, first patch, we fixed a bug, pork no longer sends you to hell. We've introduced a new subclass, it's called the Messiah subclass. He can learn 2 unique spells, lay on hands and walk on water. And if he prestiges, he can self-resurrect. We also threw in some Easter eggs for you to find. We have no idea what they do, but there's a rabbit, you'll figure it out. I've been Tim Kainzbauer, thank you very much.